everyone. Today is our lecture 5 and we are going to continue with haloalkanes and haloarenes. We have completed the methods of preparation of haloalkanes and its physical and chemical properties. So now we are going to begin with haloarenes. Haloarenes, as you all know, they are named as chlorobenzene, bromobenzene and so on. And if there are more than one substituents, then 1,2-dichlorobenzene, this is ortho derivative. 1,3-dichlorobenzene, this is meta derivative. And 1,4-dichlorobenzene, this is para derivative. Ortho at 60 degree, meta 120 and para 180 degree. And when more than one halides are attached, naming should be in an alphabetical order. So we are going to start with methods of preparation of haloarenes. Number 1, direct halogenation of benzene. We have studied in class 11 also this reaction. So direct halogenation of benzene. When benzene undergoes halogenation, if chlorobenzene is to be prepared, we would use Cl2 in presence of FeCl3 or anhydrous AlCl3, and we get the product chlorobenzene. When Br2 is used in presence of FeBr3, product will be bromobenzene. As usual, we cannot prepare fluorobenzene by this method. What type of reaction it is, my dear students? Halogenation in presence of Lewis acids. It's an electrophilic substitution reaction. And this FeCl3, when it reacts with Cl2, FeCl4 minus and Cl plus. That Cl plus is being attacked by the benzene nucleus, and the mechanism, the first step will be generation of the electrophile. Second step, attack of the electrophile by the benzene nucleus. Third step will be the formation of product, and that H plus combines with FeCl4 minus and the catalyst is regenerated at the end of the reaction. So the first method is by direct halogenation of benzene, which is an electrophilic substitution reaction. Second reaction is from diazonium salt, that is benzene diazonium chloride. But before we start the reaction, first of all, how do we prepare diazonium salt required for this purpose? So that is prepared by using diazotization reaction. This reaction is very important. Till the end of organic chemistry, you are going to use this reaction, and diazonium salt also is a very important starting material. So what is diazotization reaction? When aniline reacts with HNO2, nitrous acid, and nitrous acid is prepared during the reaction mixture. So how it is prepared? When NaNO2 reacts with HCl, temperature is ice cold, 0 to 5 degrees Celsius. And then the product is benzene diazonium chloride, and this is also known as diazonium salt. And the name of the reaction is diazotization. So, my dear students, this reaction is very important, by which we prepare diazonium salt, and the name of the reaction is diazotization. Why do we prepare it? Because it is required for the synthesis of haloarenes. So first step would be to prepare diazonium salt. Now you see, when this diazonium salt reacts with Cu2Cl2, that is cuprous chloride, copper 1 chloride. Either you can write Cu2Cl2 or CuCl in presence of HCl. The product will be chlorobenzene. Okay, and if we use Cu2Br2, then the product will be bromobenzene, and the name of this reaction is Sandmeyer reaction. Okay, very important name reaction it is for writing short notes, write chemical equation for Sandmeyer and so on. So what do we use here? Copper 1 chloride or cuprous chloride, and when diazonium salt is treated with copper powder in presence of corresponding acid HCl, then the product is once again chlorobenzene, and if we use copper powder in presence of HBr, the product will be bromobenzene, but the name of the reaction gets changed, and this reaction is Gattermann reaction. So just see the difference. What is to be noted here? If copper 1 chloride is there, Cu2Cl2 or CuCl in presence of HCl, then chloro and bromobenzene accordingly. But if copper powder is there, then the name of the reaction gets changed. So the difference between Sandmeyer and Gattermann, here copper 1 chloride, copper 1 halide, and here copper powder is used. So chlorobenzene and bromobenzene. Now we are left with fluoro and iodo, and let's see how do we prepare iodobenzene. So for that, when diazonium salt, it is treated with potassium iodide. So upon warming with potassium iodide, we get iodobenzene plus KCl plus N2. And to prepare fluorobenzene, this diazonium salt, it is treated with HbF4. This is fluoroboric acid. Okay. And when diazonium salt is treated with fluoroboric acid, an unstable intermediate is formed, N2 plus BF4 minus, and this is known as diazonium fluoroborate. Okay, being unstable, upon heating, it gives fluorobenzene plus BF3 plus N2. Very important reaction, because this is the reaction by which you can prepare fluorobenzene, which cannot be prepared by direct halogenation method, and this is the preparation for BF3 also in laboratory. This is the lab preparation of boron trifluoride as well. And one more important thing I am going to tell you is that the name of this reaction is Balch-Schiemann reaction. This important information is not given in your NCERT. So by using diazonium salt, you can prepare chlorobenzene, bromobenzene, iodobenzene and fluorobenzene as well. Sandmeyer and Gattermann, what's the difference? In Sandmeyer we use copper 1 halide, and in Gattermann we use copper powder. So after the methods of preparation of haloarenes, physical properties of haloarenes. So haloarenes are colorless liquids or crystalline solids. They are insoluble in water because of the bulkier phenyl group, which restricts the formation of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So far as melting and boiling points are concerned, so for boiling point, monohalogen derivative, it would depend upon the mass of halogen. And if we talk about dihalogen derivatives, then their boiling point is almost same. But so far as the melting point is concerned, it is slightly higher for the para-isomer. Why melting point is slightly higher for para-isomer? Because they are symmetrical, lying at an angle of 180 degree, and since they are symmetrical, can easily fit into the crystal lattice, so that the energy required to break the bond is higher, so therefore their melting point is higher. Now after physical properties, we'll start with chemical properties. First is nucleophilic substitution reactions. Very vital and important point is that aryl halides or haloarenes, they are less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution as compared to alkyl halides. Why it is so? Because you can see in aryl halides, haloarenes, they are resonance stabilized. Here no resonance. Secondly, here the hybridization is sp2. Here the hybridization is sp3. So they have greater S character as compared to sp3 hybridization. So most importantly, they are resonance stabilized due to partial double bond character. Haloarenes as compared to alkyl halides are less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. But in spite of that, there are certain reactions which take place under drastic and catalytic conditions. So when haloarenes, they are treated with NaOH under normal condition, without temperature, pressure, catalyst, no reaction. But if temperature is 623 Kelvin, 300 atmospheric pressure, first of all, sodium phenoxide is formed, which upon acidification gives phenol with the liberation of NaCl. And this reaction is named as Dow's process. Next lesson we are going to study during the preparation of phenol. So under normal condition they would not react, but when proper temperature and pressure is given, then they react and the product is phenol. Now when haloarenes are treated with copper cyanide in presence of pyridine, then we get benzonitrile. That's the IUPAC name. Common name is phenyl cyanide. Some of the places you can see cyanobenzene, but that's not correct, my dear students. It has to be benzonitrile. And here one more important thing I am going to tell you is that if an electron withdrawing group is attached, then what is going to happen? Suppose NO2. NO2 is an electron withdrawing group. So when it withdraws electron, then what happens? For the nucleophile to attack this place becomes easier. And you can see this, that when it reacts with NaOH followed by dilute HCl, here 623 Kelvin temperature is required, and here 443 Kelvin temperature, and then we get orthonitrophenol. And when there are two nitro attached, then here the temperature is 368 Kelvin itself, and we get dinitrophenol. And when there are three nitro groups, all the ortho and para positions are occupied with NaOH, what happens? Simply upon warming, we get trinitrophenol, 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, and the name of this important compound is picric acid, PICRIC. So what is the effect of an electron withdrawing group in haloarenes towards nucleophilic substitution? It enhances the rate. Why does it enhance? Because it withdraws the electron, and so that the reaction gets activated. So after nucleophilic substitution reaction, The second one is electrophilic substitution reactions, and as you all know that during resonance, since the negative charge appears on ortho and para, so it is ortho-para directing. So all the 5 electrophiles, they would occupy at ortho and para positions. So upon halogenation, we get ortho and para, and definitely para would be major. Upon nitration, HNO3 in presence of sulfuric acid, we get ortho-nitro and para-nitrochlorobenzene. Upon sulfonation, sulfuric acid in presence of SO3, that is nothing but oleum. Then we get SO3H attached at ortho and para. And then Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation. So in this case, upon alkylation, ortho and para chlorotoluene, and upon acylation, CH3COCl in presence of FeCl3 or anhydrous AlCl3, ortho and para chloroacetophenol. So all the 5 electrophiles you can see: halogenation, nitration, sulfonation, Friedel-Crafts alkylation and Friedel-Crafts acylation. In all these 5 cases, the electrophiles is being occupied at ortho and para positions. Now the next reaction is reaction with metals. As usual, here also organometallic compounds are formed. So when haloarenes are treated with magnesium metal, phenyl magnesium, if suppose bromide is there, phenyl magnesium bromide, dry ether is used as a solvent here. Next is Wurtz-Fittig reaction. Okay, Wurtz-Fittig reaction, when an aryl halide is treated with an alkyl halide. Look at the difference. When an alkyl halide and aryl halide in presence of sodium and dry ether, then we get alkyl benzene. Suppose here CH3, toluene, C2H5, ethyl benzene, propyl, propyl benzene, and so on. And one more reaction is Fittig reaction. So in Fittig reaction, 2 moles of aryl halides are used. So both the moles are of aryl halide and the product will be biphenyl. Very, very important. This conversion is also given in exercise, that how can you convert benzene to biphenyl. So first of all, benzene to haloarene, and then by using Fittig reaction. Wurtz reaction, both the moles alkyl halide. Wurtz-Fittig, 1 mole alkyl, another mole aryl, and in Fittig reaction, both the moles are of aryl halides, my dear students. And finally, the last reaction is reduction reaction. So as usual, when alkyl halides are reduced, then they give alkane. So when aryl halides would be reduced, then they will give aromatic hydrocarbon, that is nothing but benzene. So these are the properties of haloarenes: nucleophilic substitution, reaction with metals, organometallic compound, electrophilic substitution, ortho and para directing groups, and upon reduction they give benzene. So all of you learn the chemical properties of both alkyl and aryl halides and their methods of preparation as well, so that in our next lecture, along with the polyhalogenated compounds, we'll discuss some important conceptual questions as well. Thank you.